Hey guys, welcome back. It is Must Be Two Sides. One of the hostesses here, Big Coco, in the building. I wanted to shout out to Cass and Shea Butter. Okay. They are out of the office today, but we love you and we miss you guys. Okay. So I just want to do a quick little breakdown / Hefner Hotel. Normalize saying no to the job. These 9-to-5s are going to try to drain you. Okay? You have to take that PTO. You have to take that sick time. Sometimes that stuff don't roll over the next year. And self-care and mental health is very important. This holiday season has been really opening up my eyes to some of these corporations and how they deal with the people, because around this time it's stressful for everybody. So it's like they're grasping for help and they trying to get a lot for nothing. And it's little regard to your life, your family, and all of that, and that's not fair. So normalize taking your sick time, okay, your vacation time. Take that PTO. They're gonna be okay. That job gonna still be there when you get back, trust me.
Breathe next.
All right. Wait, so
you know what's crazy?
What?
I have like 80 hours of PTO time.
Why wouldn't you take that?
Cause I don't.
You need to take that.
That's almost 80 hours.
Like doctor's appointments, rest days, whatever. You might want to get up and go get a pedicure at noon. Like you can do that. You should be able to do that. You can do that. You've earned that. That's time that you've earned.
True.
So please take it. Please take it. Yeah. You need that.
Take it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I want to introduce everybody, or let everybody introduce themselves. I have somebody special that's back in the building. They've been gone for a while, so I'm gonna go over here.
Man, you already know it's the dopest of them all. Next sauce is always gonna come and pop up in the building.
Hey,
what's the word?
We missed you.
Yeah. We missed you, man.
We missed you so much.
Fucking job.
We have a special guest here today.
Hi, I'm Tennille Taraskovich, also known as the Film Chick.
The Film Chick. Clap it up.
No, she ain't giving y'all Negroes no phones.
And it is the handsome one. What's your auntie's favorite nephew?
I do want to just give you a little heads up on this show. We are really silly here, so prepare to giggle.
I love it.
Prepare to giggle. So I'm gonna actually give you the floor and let you just give a rundown on what you do, what you're working on, where the people can find you, those type of things.
So before that, we're gonna play our demo reel too.
Oh yeah, we do got something special for y'all out there. Yeah. Go ahead.
The door gets stuck sometimes. So the previous owners were sort of hoarders and they left a few things behind. It's perfect. Well, would you like to see the rest of the house?
No, this is it.
Jean, what is it that you do?
Run my family horse farm.
I want you to try and get some rest. Something better than in here. I know. Spend some time with your kids. I can't forgive myself as easily as you have.
But you should though.
You were just a kid. Let's continue to do our good work and be the beacon for the addict who has lost their way.
Wait, why would you pass her the bill?
Well, there was a
What you trying to say, like I can't pay for
on
it?
the card I just assumed. Lizzie, speak up. No one can hear you when you mumble. Let me tell you. Watching you suffer has been fun. I wanted to savor the taste. Now, let's get out there and change some lives. What the fuck is this?
Come on with the range, man. Come on with the range, man.
Thank you.
Jeez Louise.
And it's hard.
that's kind of a summary. So a lot of local projects here I'm super proud of. I produced, a handful of those, but definitely not trying to get pigeonholed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, this past year has been amazing. It's been, tough. A lot of us are going back to the office.
Yeah.
The pandemic is officially over.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's been a huge, change in how much time and focus I can put into my filmmaking. So I'm trying to go more the actress route for the next year or two until my son gets, out of college or out of, high school and into college, and I have a little more time.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm just very, very curious myself. I'm sorry, Woogers. You probably got some questions and stuff.
Go for it.
Me being a girly who used to do plays, and then I got off into acting. I used to be on TV when I was younger. Like, it was like a church thing, so it was real fun. And then I've always admired that, admired it, but I always wanted to be in a horror film. So what's your favorite movie genre that you've played in?
So ironically, I don't like horror films, even though that's mainly what I produced.
Yeah.
That scared the shit out of me.
It's weird, I know, but it's really because the people around me, the creatives around me, that's what they've enjoyed. So our first film together was called If I Can't Have You. We filmed that during the pandemic, and that was a thriller horror. The benchmark was Scream, so it's very self-aware, somewhat of a parody. And during the pandemic, we realized we don't need to freak people out anymore, so it turned more into a dark comedy.
Okay.
So the team was very fluid and, adjusted. And so I think that made the project more special and more meaningful. But I think it confused audiences a little bit, though, because everybody thought it was going to be this really scary movie. And there's all these really quirky characters that are very aware of what they're doing.
I like that dark humor, thing though, because some people, like my mother, sorry ma, shout out to you though, she can't take horror, scary movies. She can't.
Not my
And
thing.
what I've been watching Ash versus Evil Dead. Anyways, never mind. But I'm that girl. So she can't take it. So something that'll give her something to laugh, she would be able to tolerate.
Yeah, and that's what that movie really tried to do, is build up the suspense, and then some crazy moment, comes and stops it. So, still violence, and stuff like that. Like me, with the shoe, that's part of that movie, which I didn't realize how scary. I mean, I was just doing it, you're on a schedule, you're doing it fast, and then you see it on screen, and you're like, whoa, that is kind of scary. And so I think from there we did Chasing the Ghost, and so that was then an elevation of the thriller horror, but a little more artistic. So that one was about, I don't know if you stayed to watch it, but that's where we met, was at the premiere of Chasing the Ghost. And essentially that movie was about the curse of addiction, essentially. But it really flipped it. So we wanted to take, kind of the thriller horror and more of a Jordan Peele style and kind of flip it in a unique way. So this was the curse that you had to stay high. And so if the main character didn't stay high, his loved ones would start dying. According to the list of his people that were on his visitation list for the rehab center.
Wow.
Holy shit.
That was a good movie.
You gotta stay high to keep your peeps alive.
Yes. Yeah. So it's very crazy. And I think, so we did extremely well in the film festivals, extremely well, very art house, but probably a little too symbolic and not straightforward for a lot of our, normal audiences. So I think a lot of people, kind of if you weren't paying attention, could miss some of the small cues in that movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, really proud of it. We had Nicole Hoops Alexander and also Solalucci. They both were able to make it to the premiere, and it was a lot of fun, and I think a great project.
Yeah.
These was in that movie too. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to you. That is exciting, and that whole repertoire was just like phenomenal to me. Like, that was amazing.
Thank you so much. That is an accumulation of many projects, and really proud. The thing that I would like to tell you guys about is what I've been working on this year.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, so two big things.
Okay.
Took on two things. The first comedy series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So two new things. Super fun. So much work.
Okay, I was gonna say, is
Oh
this
my gosh.
more than a movie situation?
Way more. And I realized it, but I didn't realize it. But being a producer and coming from the automotive industry and just all about efficiency. And I think that's where we're at in the indie space right now, is now that the content has grown, there's still so many viewers. So now instead of choosing from 2, they have 20 to choose from. So you do have to be a little bit more unique to get more views, or you've got to figure out how to cut your costs, right?
Yep.
So, after your second or third project, you've got to like make sure you get that payback so you can keep going.
That makes sense.
So again, I realized, hey, I don't really like thriller horror. Most people our age don't. Like, research does show that genre is for people under 25. Or at least that's what statistics show. So even though it's fun and it is easier to get people to be scared or to scare people than to make them laugh, I figured, no, that's more of who I am. I'm very quirky. I'm very awkward.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that plays really well with comedy. And so, like you guys were asking me before we started, like, how do you get this rolling? Well, you got to get a good team together.
Right.
And so really the first layer was the nucleus of what we call the showrunners. So we try to do as many things LA or, a bigger production, so that way everybody got the opportunity to learn and try new things and things like that.
Okay.
So essentially we got together, and the co-creator Emery Reeves and myself pitched a different type of production, and it's called a fly on the wall.
Okay.
And what that is it's semi-scripted.
I like that.
Yeah, so this is our cast and crew shirt that everybody got.
I need one of those.
Yes, I wish I had extras, but they went like that.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I should do a second batch
You
once we
should.
premiere.
Let us know.
Yeah. So it's a totally different concept that we called a fly on the wall, to kind of embrace it for the crew and the cast that this is going to be semi-scripted.
Okay. Okay.
So essentially the writers would give us a page that would summarize, the location and the setting and what was happening in the first few lines, but then we let the characters improv from there.
I love that.
Casting, like, keep me in mind.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, for sure. So it really then took us into casting into a different route, where we had 3 or 4 stand-up comedians now. So that was very interesting. We also were able to have a drag queen. So we do have one of the episodes at Drag Queen Bingo at 5:15 in Pronto in Royal Oak. So that was a challenging, stressful episode, but very cool.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's basically a totally different way of production, so that way we could get it done. And basically we got 2 takes.
Okay.
So you get 2 takes. Don't F it up.
No, for real.
You know what I
That's
mean?
intense.
Yeah, so it was very intense. Being a scheduler in the automotive industry, we had 30 minutes per scene.
I like that.
We did a lot of pre-lighting
That's good
and
pressure right there.
Right. That
yeah,
sounds
it
fun.
basically, the way that I pitched it to the cast, And the invitation video was, this is an improv game. You know, some people go on Sundays to fish in tournaments or bowl or whatever, but this is going to be like an acting tournament. So bring your game on. So, so essentially, yeah, we ended up with 8 episodes. It's basically about a Detroit-based talent agency. And it's an ensemble of 8 characters. And it was really benchmarked off of Parks and Recreation.
I thought you going this way. I felt like it was going to be
And The Office.
I was about to say
And The Office.
I can't wait to watch this.
And The Office. Yeah. So those were our benchmarks. So my character is Dusty Buttons.
Okay, DB.
Okay.
Because the writer intentionally gave me that because I'm Dusty. I had a big win right out of high school. I had a national commercial and never did anything since. So still kind of riding on, you know, kind of like a Vanilla Ice.
Tried you. I tried you.
Trying to put you on the shelf. Like, shit belong on the shelf.
Tried you. No, that is cool. You want to audition?
Yes.
I wish I would have known because we actually had opportunities. We tried to bring the talent base out in episode 6.
Yeah.
So that was an audition episode that we really benchmarked, like American Idol or American's Got.
Yo, next
Got
season
Talent.
we there.
Right.
'Cause we speaking that into
Right.
Hopefully there is a next season because I funded and, you know, invested in the first season. And so now we need to see if
If it's
the
gonna
good Lord
sink or swim.
Oh,
yeah, is saying this is it.
Just hearing about it.
I feel like we do have something unique. The only thing that we're missing would be, you know, that reality TV star or, you know, that non-SAG actor, you know, that everybody tries to get in. So there just wasn't the budget and there wasn't the space. It was an ensemble of 8 equals and, you know, nobody, you know, was given, you know, any
like
different. It was. The energy was amazing. It was extremely collaborative. You know, whatever happened, we would roll with it. So there were a few times, you know, we were rewriting, you know, up until that point in time. Just to make it work.
Okay.
That's what the people want to see, though. Like, we want to see that through the characters, you know, through each episode.
Yep.
You see how excited we was. Just like
No,
you saying Parks and
seriously,
Rec.
like we're invested into those kind of.
Yeah.
And you would be surprised, like how many people are overly invested in like The Office. How many T-shirts do I have? You know what I'm saying? Like, how
Dunder Muffin.
Yeah,
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
So
Spend all day quoting
you
it.
got something. You got something for sure.
I think we have something that people will be familiar with, but it's very Detroit specific.
Correct.
You know, so
That's the exciting part for us.
yeah, and I think that's what we tried to do, and that's what I hope season 2 will do. Is everybody's like, okay, this is like pretty dope.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty unique. We can come and have structure because everybody knows that I'm an over planner, but yet there's still going to be that creative freedom.
Okay.
So next time you have like a casting call or something like that, let me know.
I will let all you guys know.
You guys know.
Because we would
We
come.
definitely gonna be in there.
And I would even say let's do an episode where you guys are podcasting with us.
We would do that.
Yeah, because we did that with Hollywood.
Yeah.
So basically, we are striving for like a network standard episode of 22 minutes, and one of our episodes was a little light, and so we had planned, you know, at the end of the episode, basically Dusty and Parker were going to a premiere and it just ends there. But I was like, no, we're going to the premiere. That's how we're going to extend this episode. So we were on the set of Corruption, or not the set, but at the premiere of Corruption, which I had a small role in as Charlene, the feisty mayor's secretary. So basically I doubled down. So that was what a lot of this was, is it is kind of capturing, you know, that Detroit vibe and Detroit feel.
I love it.
And so we had Hollywood and his wife Kimberly there, and basically did a faux interview with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's fine.
It was so
crazy.
much fun.
I know,
it was so much fun, and then we got people to play along with us. So then we had like a worker there, from Imagine, pretend like my name wasn't on the list. Yeah. So then that added humor. That here I'm like on this special list, and I get him or denied. So just like little stuff. We were just improvising like as we were there, and then ironically, my boyfriend in the show, Dan Pesta, was actually in Corruption as well and was there at the premiere. Okay. And so like, hey, so we got like this little scene of him like kind of blowing me off. And, so it was so much fun. And that's what I want to do more of. I feel like we over-script, we over-prescribe. And then when things aren't the way we want, then people get pissy. And it's like, let it go. Let it be what it's supposed to be.
It's better when it's organic.
Yes.
Never a dull moment,
That's why I'm still enjoying my social media. I enjoy my like Insta story because it's that. You know what I mean? Like all of those things that you describe happen to me in real life.
Yes.
Okay, like, I'm not on the list when I get there. Like that's my real life. So I'll be like, okay, girl.
Right. Exactly. So, like how do you still get in, or what do we do?
So that is very smart. I think that's gonna go far.
Well, thank you. And then the last thing that I would say is because of the design of it, that it's kind of this mockumentary, if you will. The audience knows that we're filming, so we did intentionally try to get some camera guys slightly in there, give some props to some of the folks behind the scenes.
That's cool.
And then that way, if a light stand gets in there, who the hell cares? Right. It's part of it.
It's part of it.
It's part of it.
Part of the set.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, I'm so happy that you guys like it.
Yes.
Tomorrow we actually have a showrunners meeting. We're going to review 7 and 8 and give our feedback between the editor cut and the director cut. Okay. So
that's sweet.
Yeah.
All right then.
I can't wait till it's
I know, right? Congratulations again.
Thank you. I
wish you much success.
I appreciate that.
Of course. Woogers. What question?
What was the second thing that you want to
Yes. So the second thing I undertook this year is what I'm calling a production house. And so I was able to convince my husband to buy a duplex on the northwest side of Detroit, so about 15 minutes from here. And we got the top fixed up to rent out to, pay for the, taxes and insurance and things like that. And then the bottom I'm making into my production office / a rentable production house. So one thing I've noticed is, people can generally get restaurants and bars and things like that because you go in and, during their office or, off hours. But houses are hard. It's really hard, especially if you need like more than one day. So, I think a lot of it was he was just getting sick and tired of people filming at our house and him being displaced, and we have a dog, and it's just hard. Yeah, it was hard. So, so basically, the lower unit is about half done. I've been painting. I actually saw it on my hands. I scrubbed and scrubbed, but that's what I was doing today and yesterday is painting the living room and dining room. Okay.
So you're not only organized, you're a very smart businesswoman, because I feel like that is
okay though.
Okay, that's top tier. Top tier. Now, how were you able to convince your husband? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because
he got his house back.
Well, I think a lot of it, right. But he's not so happy now because there's so much work, that he's been having to help me with that I haven't been able to do by myself. So I think a lot of his motivation was, taking back the house. And then also I pitched it, as a no-cost situation.
Because we were in the top.
Right. Okay. And that's why, during the pandemic, I did look at, different office spaces, bamboo, shared spaces, things like that. And I just couldn't justify the money. So I feel like this is a way right now at zero cost. And then, if I get bored with it or if it doesn't work out, well, then I'll just rent out the bottom.
Duh.
Yeah. Or rent out one of the rooms and keep the other for myself, so I still have my office.
Right.
So yeah, just trying to think of ways to give space. And so yeah, I call it the clubhouse. So there's, a group of creatives, and, we get together and support each other. And so that was the other thing I did this year, was support some folks, in that circle with their projects. So one is called No Ceilings, and that was written and directed by Fred Evans, and his wife Janae produced that. And so we did actually film, in the downstairs before it was ready, which was perfect for what they needed. They needed an empty space. So just, supporting them. And then Jillian Mitchell, I get the two Jillians mixed up. She's doing her first feature film called Do It Scared.
Okay.
And so supporting as an actress and things like that. And just trying to keep the ball rolling.
Absolutely.
And, helping people with their projects. It just, I don't know. It's a different way, I guess, to barter and just help each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it still gets
You
done.
never go wrong with the barter system.
No. And it's more
you
from the
never
heart.
know if you're also building the team, like you're accumulating a team just in a different area. So
Yeah, and helping them with their projects, so that way everybody is getting
Because
absolutely.
just because you're building your own team don't mean you can be a part of other teams.
right.
Yeah.
And they learning something from you, so
We're all learning from each other.
that too.
So what do you enjoy more, but producing or acting?
I would say I definitely enjoy acting more. It's a quicker win. You can get in and get out.
Okay.
And then go and enjoy a premiere.
Right.
Yeah.
Producing, it's, a year plus.
Okay. Okay.
With writing, pre-production, production, post-production,
Yeah.
distribution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
no
lot.
bad
I mean, yeah, it's the same as, designing a car, making a car, selling a car. It's
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's gratifying. To me,
Okay.
that's more gratifying, because you're then pulling the people together
Yep.
and things like that. But then if it doesn't go well, you're responsible for that too.
Right. It's a, I mean,
All right.
you win some, you
L
lose
now
some.
and then.
You win some,
Right.
you lose some.
L's
Right.
come before the M's.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay, we're all parents here. So
Hi,
how do you-
kids.
yeah, hi,
Right.
kids.
Hey, y'all.
How do you find balance from being the producer, the wife, the mother, like the actress? How do you find balance in doing all those things and still have time even to yourself?
Well, you got to look at it like dimmer switches, like you got a wall with dimmer switches, right? And you only have so much time and so much energy. So just what are you like finagling that day, that week, that hour?
Yep.
But yeah, I think you got to set aside time. So definitely July, August, September, October, those 4 months, the dimmer switch was extremely high on the agency. October, I then gave myself some more time. So I tried to rest, and I also had a lot of, kind of catching up to do at work. And then November, I've really been focusing on family. So we just took a vacation to Arizona and took our son to Grand Canyon.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's just you can't have it all the time.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Question: how do you prepare for your roles? How do you prepare? Even like the
So
horror films and everything. How do you prepare for that?
So the cool thing is being a producer, that I would say half of the roles I get to help create. So it's part of like the creative process right from the beginning. So like Dusty Buttons,
You already had an idea how you wanted her to be.
right. And but you still got to rely on, the people around you, because initially, so we did 2 filmed rehearsals just to make sure the concept was going to work. And it was also really good because you got to see yourself as that character. And I would say at first I was too close to Michael. I was too bitchy, just too unlikable. and he was able to get away with that, but we were wondering, well, is it because I'm a female? I'm just, not coming off right. So then I came off as a little more aloof and ditzy and needy, maybe. So not quite as likable as Leslie, no, but there had to be somebody annoying or, that you love to hate, in the show. So
that's kind of how it was with like the first season and second season of The Office. Like Michael Scott was completely different in season 1 than he was season 2. But from 2 on, it's like, I love this show.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Yeah. So anyways, just finding, that balance. Other than that, a lot of it is I just want to learn the character and learn the lines so I can bring them together. So the way that I primarily have been studying lines, especially this year, is Line Learner. It's an app. I want to say it's like $4.99. But basically you can do your lines and the other lines and, practice them by yourself, I guess. Yeah. So as I would be at the duplex, painting the upstairs, I would be listening to my lines, and that's how I would just get into like the memorization of the lines. And then the character development, I think that's just really through like visual manifestation. So just, seeing that character and then, just embracing it, so that way you can do it naturally, so it doesn't feel like it's forced.
Right.
With the Clubhouse, would you have an acting class in there?
I would. Yeah. I mean, that's the type of stuff. So writing circles, acting, anything. I think that the possibilities are going to be, endless.
Yeah. Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question for you. Okay, with Chasing the Ghost, if I can have you, could you rank your top favorite 4 movies that you've done?
That I've done?
Yeah, that you've done.
Okay.
Or had the most fun doing?
Well, I would say number 1 would be The Agency, even though it's not out yet, just because the process of making it has been so gratifying and so unique and so collaborative. So, and I think it might have the most potential, deep down. But I've been through enough movies now. I don't want to like get too excited too soon, because then you might miss details that you still need to pay attention to. So trying to keep my head out of the clouds on that one. I'm also excited because of the timing. So part of our timeline is to support having all 8 episodes done in first quarter. So that way we can go to New York and pitch, because we suspect that there will be a drought for pilot season, and for us to say, hey, we got 8 episodes, we know your star isn't in there, but we'll sell it to you for a bargain.
Right.
Yeah. So so I would say that would be number 1 because of the process. I would say number 2 would be If I Can't Have You, because that was the first, and it's just something you'll never get back. You're so ignorant, so hopeful, but it worked. During the pandemic, it was a lot. So yeah, just the fact of being the first and being with all the people that I love in this industry the most, it was just the best way to get started. Number 3, I would say, is Chasing the Ghost, because then that was like an elevation, and I was just proud working with another production company and having, the bigger stars available for the movie. And that was the first and only time that I've done like boom, a 10-day straight production. So usually, us older working people, or not working, but corporate, outside of the main circle of filmmakers, really just trying to do weekends. So If I Can't Have You was like every other weekend, and then The Agency was Sundays, for like 8 Sundays, not necessarily in a row, but
And that was your typical schedule versus the 10 straight day production.
Right,
Okay.
right. So that one I was able to prove to myself, chasing the ghost, like, oh my gosh, I could do this. It was hard though, because, producer, kind of like production manager, I had somebody doing crafting and meals, but was still helping, coordinate all that type of stuff and acting. So it was a lot, and locations. So literally I would like get home, have to disposition everything, and then have to like get the props and the snacks and all this stuff for the next day, so that was a lot. But once I got done with it, it was like exhilaration of pride and just confidence.
Hard work paid off.
Just seeing it all like come together so quickly. So, and my fourth, I would say, gosh, I feel like they're all kind of at that same level, but I'm going to give somebody else a different producer props, which is Tale of Tales. So Harley Whalen cast me, and I felt weird at first, but it worked. So I was cast to play the mother of like a 25-year-old daughter, and so, with makeup and stuff like that, I think it was believable. So at first I was like, what role am I getting here? There's this mother role with like, that's pretty substantial, or there's like this little role. So lo and behold, I got, the mother role. But that was a really fun production, and I really did like the series. I think for a Michigan-based series, it was one of the earlier ones and pretty good. Yeah.
That's sweet. So, what is everyone's outlet? Like, if you like an outlet was a stress reliever or just something to make you feel free, what is everyone's outlet? What do you do?
I'm a music girly. So I usually cut the music up. I'm dancing. I am a vibe chick. So it's aromatherapy. So it's usually like some incense or some candles. And yeah, like that's and I smoke. So like I'm a Rasta chick. So that happens. What you do, Mac?
It depends on where I'm at, yo. Like mid traffic, somebody piss me off, I'm flooring it. Video crank all the way up, bass in my ears. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go at least 100 down to 45 for like 3 miles just to go off some steam. Or I'm just hopping on GTA, starting some shit with some people. Cuss out some kids. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Them kids is vicious on there. They'll get some aggression out real quick.
Sick.
I'm simple.
Yeah.
So the thing I like to do most is outline. So I have a clipboard with me almost all the time, and that's how I decompress, because there's so much going on. I have to just compartmentalize it. Okay. So that way, again, like the dimmer switch, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to do this. Well, I can't do it right now. I've got to do that in 2 weeks from now. So yeah, I like to just outline my thoughts and get my thoughts out on paper. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is I love baths.
Okay. Yeah.
And with scented salts and candles and
Body Works, man,
and things like that. Yeah. Yep. So
the aromatherapy, it helps. I swear.
Does.
It
does.
What you do?
I sit in silence.
Okay.
That's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sit in silence.
Joker does that a lot.
I can listen to music too, but I prefer listening in silence. Just sit in silence by myself.
Yeah.
So that way I can gather my own thoughts. And think or differentiate this from that.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to be in your own company by yourself.
Yeah.
Somebody else's, or chatter everywhere else. And all that stuff.
Quiet your mind.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So what are your favorite actors? Well, who are your favorite actors and actresses?
Locally or?
I mean, it could be locally. We can say locally. Okay. We can say locally. Yeah.
Locally, I am a big fan. Gosh, I like a lot of people. I do like Diesel.
Yeah.
I like Diesel a lot. So he was in Chasing the Ghost, and I wish that we would have made him Dion in hindsight.
Okay.
I mean, Solucci did a really nice job, but I just think that Diesel would have fucking killed it.
Yeah.
He would have killed it. But, you know, again, sometimes we think, you know, the reality, you know, the people that are more known, but I really do like Diesel. And then I don't know as many of the female actresses, but I definitely like T.T. Brown, and I like Velda Hunter. Yeah, I love, you know, just the really commanding women that are so lovable, and, you know, like, they'll just, like, bear hug you and make you feel good.
Yeah. For me, I like Liz Fox. Like Elizabeth Fox.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I like her.
Yeah, I have not worked with her, but I definitely think she's going places.
Yeah. And Diesel too. Yeah, I like Diesel too. Because he has a nice range too.
Yeah, we really wanted to have him actually in episode 8 of The Agency, but scheduling just didn't work out.
That'd have been fun.
Yeah, it would have been, especially with the improv and the role he would have had. It would have been hilarious.
That's fun. Do you have like favorite local actors or actresses that you like?
Locally, my cousin is tearing it up, so he's doing a good job. He's been getting his feet wet in the industry, so shout out to Marion Ham. He was actually hanging with me yesterday. But I don't know, like, I'm just starting to get off into the local art, you know. Ever since last year when we started doing the movie premieres, that's when I started paying attention and like getting out there and learning people and learning. So I don't have a favorite just yet, but I'm literally enjoying just watching how production is blossoming from all of these different, you know, these different people. Watching people grow, like, even looking at, and I have to watch all of your movies. Like, I'm like, Jesus, you have like 80. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta take a weekend to binge, you know. So I'm excited about finding me a new favorite.
I'm gonna watch If I Can't Have You tomorrow. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna watch that.
I'm sorry, I was just eating some good pineapple.
Oh my gosh,
Very delicious. I don't have a favorite actor or actress, but I do have a least favorite.
Of course. Of course you do.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh my God.
I cannot stand that man's acting. As a wrestler, The Rock was the shiznit. He's a man. Most electrifying man in sports entertainment. With the eyebrow, you see I can do the eyebrow.
You can do that, bro?
As Dwayne, both eyebrows too. But as Dwayne The Rock Johnson, dog has no range. He literally plays the same character in every movie. Just a towering, muscle-bound meathead that just stares at you and talks to you like this.
Oh God.
Yeah. That's what I'll tell you what, candy ass. I can't stand The Rock's acting. So
Well, I like The Rock. So
you like his muscles.
maybe.
His vibe.
I like his vibe. I follow him on Instagram, and he's such a cute dad. Like, I just like him I'm a supporter.
But a terrible actor.
You like his bald head. That's what you like too.
I do like that. I liked him when he had hair. I like the rest of his family. I like The Rock. So there's that.
Just The Rock. Go back to rock bottom in people's elbows. Stay on the red carpet.
Oh, gosh. If you weren't acting, what else would you be doing? Like producing, rather.
Well, within film, I want to get more into writing. So I feel like that's, you know, as I'm taking a sabbatical from producing, I need to take up more of that. Other than that, I probably would want to go back to school for something. I'm feeling like the world is just changing, and I don't know if I'm still relevant.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So if you guys weren't doing what you were doing right now, like as far as work and everything else, what would you be doing?
I would be acting. I would be some type of artistry. Like, I like expressive writing. So maybe I'd be an author, or maybe one of my books would turn into a movie, and I would be a freaking badass fashionista. Like, I would have a Carrie Bradshaw repertoire of shoes. Like Sex and the City is my absolute favorite, and I live to be Carrie Bradshaw. Okay,
So Dusty Buttons is an indie version of Carrie Bradshaw, and I almost was gonna wear my craziest shoes.
you should have.
So they were hot pink, and they were high heels that were like pants.
oh, you
matching,
should have.
And I was going to, but with this weather, I was like, no,
that's right. I forgot.
I gotta
Shitty
wear like
outside in the D.
my rubber boots.
Try
Dang,
it.
I
Be
love
bold.
it. I would. That's what I would be doing.
What about you, Mac?
Intrusive thoughts usually win, but not today. I don't know. Probably like an MMA fighter or a NASCAR driver, or
Yeah, you do all like NASCAR.
you know what I'm saying? Or if I just want to be like real subtle, just real chill, a shoe store owner.
Yeah.
One of
Okay.
those three.
Okay,
I feel like I still got time to work on those
you
three
probably
too. Though.
I think you could.
Yeah.
I think you could.
I'll be a firefighter.
Okay.
For the
Hero.
calendar.
Pardon me?
For the calendar. I feel like you would be a firefighter to be on the calendar.
No, he wants to be a hero.
You want to be?
Yeah.
He want to be Mr.
I hope-
October.
Yes.
Like September.
It's still sleeve season now.
You thought you
was about to get
through a whole episode
I was going to say something, but I
It's
would not have been
Sleeve-ember.
interested.
Rolling into Sleeve-cember, Lee.
There we go. So, Tennille, do you ever take suggestions from people, like as far as like movie scripts and everything else? Do you do stuff like that?
I don't do script coverage. I don't think I'm qualified enough. I mean, I will definitely give people, feedback and things like that. But I think that there's a lot of really experienced writers that, could give like very good feedback. What I will say I'm good at, and again, this is the producer hat, is I can take a script and, like, for example, we had some like scheduling, with Hoops and Solucci and the way that we had to like get their days to overlap and stuff like that. So basically we had to rewrite a lot of Hoops scenes. So I was able to say, okay, this scene, make this a phone call, make this a car ride, to make it work or whatever. So I feel like I'm really good. Like, how do I take a script and make it?
Correct.
If that makes sense.
That's why he asked, right?
What?
I said, you know why he asked you that, right? He got
What?
a book he been writing.
I told him.
He want to drop in your lap. Yeah.
Gotcha. Method for the madness.
He's good at writing too. I've read some of his things, and I was like invested in it. Like, okay, so what's happening? You know what I'm saying? What's next?
appreciate
So that's cool. I think you should go.
appreciate
I think you should go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Okay, well, we're closing out now. We have a few
What?
minutes left. Yeah.
That went fast.
Yeah,
Right?
it does that fast.
Well, time flies when you're having fun.
It
So.
does. We'll have to do this again, too.
Hopefully the snow done.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
maybe first or second quarter we can bring some of the agency ensemble. I think there'd be a lot of
Yes.
characters there that
Yeah.
would be fun.
Yes.
We need that.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
So,
I
again,
appreciate that.
And I can wear my pink boot pants.
Hey, I got the pink toes. Just let me know.
I haven't figured out how to wash them yet, so I've got to selectively wear them.
That makes sense. I'm a Girl Scout,
Yeah.
so I
Fully
understand.
understand.
Yeah, I
Certain
understand.
fabrics don't, vibe
Well, they were
certain
clearance for $5. I was like, these are so weird and so
It's that.
bold. Like,
Yeah.
I've got to do
A
it.
statement piece.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to Roseline. We don't have any in the building today, but because I left the bottle at home, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Water is
But
fine.
they sponsor us. We usually have a little wine here, so I owe you some wine. Okay.
Okay.
And again, I wanted to shout out to Cass and Shea Butter because they are out of the office today.
Yeah.
But we miss you and we love you guys.
You guys be smooth today.
And also, shout out to Space Cakes, of course. Eli, shout out to him. Shout out to Michigan. They won. Go Blue.
Yeah, go blue.
Go Blue.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the boy part of the show. I don't have nothing to do with that part of the show.
You Ohio.
Yeah, definitely. Other than
Buckeyes
that,
die.
I appreciate you for coming out tonight.
Thank you guys for having me. This
Of
was
course.
so much fun.
My pleasure.
I had a good time too.
We can do this again one time too. By the way, shout out to Miles, our
Coming
producer.
through with the agency
yeah,
first,
hey,
second
Miles.
quarter. She said it.
How you doing?
You see how you did it?
Yeah.
Oh, grumpy man.
Okay, and this is Must Be Two Sides, and we are out of here.